Let us try to do some problems on the system of particles, beta. A pulley fixed to the ceiling carries a string with the blocks of mass m and 3m attached to its ends. The masses of the strings and the pulleys are negligible. The system is released. Its center of mass moves with what acceleration? Can anyone do it better? Pulley is fixed. This is your pulley. And here this one is fixed. Okay. With the two blocks of mass of your m and p. That means here if I'm taking it as of your m, here this will be your mass of your 3m. This is your tension T, this is your tension T, this is your tension T, and this is also your tension T. Okay. When the system is released, that means this larger body will move with one acceleration, this body will move with the same acceleration upward. So center of mass, with what acceleration it will be moving? How much better? Hello?
Sir, your voice is breaking.
My voice is breaking. Let me check it out once. Now better?
No, okay, sir.
Okay, chalo. Acceleration A will be equal to. Can anyone do this one better? M minus of your m divided by your 3m plus of your m into g. 3m minus m is how much better? 2m divided by your 4m. This m gets cancelled. G. 2 1s are 2 2s are. So that will be equal to g by 2. So this will be the third option. Clear, beta? Sure. Next one. In rotatory motion, linear velocities of all the particles of the body are. In rotatory motion, linear velocity of all the particles of the body are same, different, zero, cannot say. See, this is some body and this is your fixed axis and it is rotating about this one with an angular acceleration omega. If I take different points in this one, beta, this is point A, this is your point B, this one is your point C. Point A is the distance of R1, point B is the distance of R2, point C is the distance of R3. So if I'm writing the linear velocity, V1 is equals to R1 into omega, V2 will be equal to your, this is right now V2 is equals to your R2 into omega, and V3 is equals to your R3 into your omega. So R3 is greater than R2, R2 is greater than R1. So I can say that V3 is greater than V2, V2 is greater than V1. So linear velocities are not same, they will be different. Only angular velocity will be the same beta because it is rotating about one fixed axis. So angular velocity will be same, but linear velocity will be different. Is it clear for everyone? Sure. Next one. A wheel of moment of inertia. A wheel of moment of inertia. That means I value is 2.5 kg meter square. Has initial angular acceleration. Sorry, initial angular velocity. That means omega naught is equals to 40 radians per second. A constant torque is equals to 10 Newton meter acts on the wheel. The time during which the wheel is accelerated to 60 radians per hour second will be equal to how much? The time during which the wheel is accelerated to your, that means alpha value, 60 radians per second. The time during which wheel is accelerated to 60 radians per second. Can anyone try it, beta? Wheel is accelerated, that means alpha Alpha is equals to 60 radians per second square. Should be not acceleration, but the time during which it is accelerated to your 60 radians, not square. It should be your 60 radians. That means this will be the final omega. So torque is equals to I into your alpha. So alpha will be equal to your torque divided by moment of inertia. Let's see, 5 seconds. Yes, better. Torque value is equals to how much better? Tau value is equals to 10. Moment of inertia is 2.5. That means that will be equal to your 100 divided by 25. That means 40 radians per second square. Second use the formula, omega is equals to omega naught plus alpha into t. So t will be equal to omega minus omega naught by alpha. So omega value is how much given for me beta? 60 minus this one is 40 divided by alpha is your 4. So this will be 20 divided by 4. 4 ones are 4 fives are. So that will be equal to 5 seconds. Clear? Next one. A rod PQ of mass capital M and length L is hinged at the point of your P. Is hinged at your point P. The rod is being PQ means this diagram is right now different for maintain. The rod is kept horizontal by a massless string tied to the point of your Q as shown in the figure. When the string is cut, the initial angular acceleration of the rod is how much? That means it is hinged here, fixed. Okay. So when you cut this one with some scissors, this rod will fall down with an angular acceleration, isn't it? So I can say here right now the situation. This is your rod. Weight of this body is acting in the downward direction, that is your mg. Here it is fixed. Okay, so it will fall down here with an angular acceleration. This distance will be equal to L by 2. So torque acting on this one will be equal to your mg into perpendicular distance L by 2. So what will be the moment of inertia of the rod about point P beta? Moment of inertia of the rod about point P will be equal to your m into L square divided by 3. So we know the relation tau is equals to I into alpha, isn't it? So tau value is equals to mg into L divided by 2 is equals to m into L square divided by 3 into alpha. Gets cancelled, this L, this square will get cancelled. So g by your 2 is equals to your L by your 3 is equals to alpha. That means this will become for me 3g by your 2L is equals to alpha, angular acceleration. So the initial angular acceleration of the rod will be equal to your 3g divided by 2L. A will be the answer. See it once again better. The rod PQ of mass capital M and length L is hinged at the end of your point P. Okay. The rod is being kept horizontal. That means it is hinged at a point P. That means fixed. When you cut it, it will fall down with an angular acceleration alpha. That value of alpha is asking. So what I did is, the moment you cut it, the torque acting on that one to rotate will be tau is equals to mg into perpendicular distance. And moment of inertia of the rod about your point P will be equal to ml square by 3. And I know the relation tau is equals to I alpha. Substitute it and simplify, you'll get the value of alpha. Clear, better? Sure. Next question. A solid cylinder of mass 5 kg. This is your solid cylinder of mass 50 kg. Okay. Mass is given for me equal to your 50 kg. And the radius is given as 0.5 meter. Is free to rotate about a horizontal axis. A massless string is wound around the cylinder with one end attached to it and the other end is hanging freely. Okay, this is a radius and here there is another end free. This is a tension T. This is the radius R. So force into perpendicular distance will be your constant of torque. Tension in the string required to produce an angular acceleration of 2 revolutions per second square will be equal to how much? It's not per second square, it should be equal to your per second. Okay, force into perpendicular distance, that is T into your R will be equal to your I into alpha. So T will be equal to your I into alpha divided by your R. Moment of inertia of the solid cylinder about an axis. Solid cylinder means M into your R square divided by 2 into your alpha by your R. This square will get cancelled. So it is your M R alpha divided by 2 is your tension T. So mass is your 50. Radius is your how much? 0.5 meters into alpha. Alpha value is equal to how much for me beta? Rotates about an axis the massless string with one end attached to it with, with an angular acceleration of your 2 revolutions per second. That means alpha value is 2. Okay, so 1 revolution is equals to how much beta? 2 pi.
Sir, your voice is breaking.
Abhi beta?
Sir, your voice is breaking, sir.
I'm checking it beta. Now I'm audible better. Hello.
No, sir, still it is breaking. I cannot able to hear you.
Hello. Now better. Is it audible now? Chalo. So T is equals to mass. Radius is 0.5. Alpha will be equal to 2 revolutions. That means for 1 revolution it is 2 pi. For 2 revolutions it will become how much better? 2 into your 2 pi divided by your 2. This 2 will get cancelled. 0.5 means 1 by 2. This one and this one will also get cancelled. So it is 50 into your pi. That means that will become for me, this 2 and this 2 is gone, 0.5 and this 2 is also gone. So it is 50 into 3.14. See how much I'm getting? Anyone? 50 into 3.14.
$47, sir.
How much?
47.1, sir.
50 into 3.14, na beta? It's 50. We'll be getting 157. 157. Yeah, 157 Newton. Done. Chalo. Next one, try it, but can anyone try this question? A wheel rotates with a constant acceleration of 2 radians per second square. If the wheel starts from the rest, the number of revolutions it makes in the first 10 seconds will be equal to your how much? Good question. Can anyone try it? The wheel rotates with a constant acceleration. That means alpha. Alpha value is given how much for me? 2 radians per second square. If the initial starts from the rest, that means omega naught is equals to 0. The number of revolutions make byte n is equals to how much? In time t is equals to 10 seconds. So you can use the relation theta is equals to omega naught into t plus half into alpha into t square. So number of revolutions means what beta? Theta is equals to 2 pi into your n. So n value will be equal to your theta by 2 pi. So calculate the value of theta. Initial angular velocity is 0. So theta is equals to your half into alpha value is 2 into t is nothing but 10 square. 10 into your 10 100. This 2 will get cancelled. So theta will be equal to your 100 radians. So n will be equal to your 100 divided by 2 pi. That means this will become for me 2 1s are 2 5s are. So it is your 50 by pi. 50 by your pi. That means it is 50 divided by 3.14.
16, sir.
Approximately 60. Very good. Clear? Next one. A rigid body about a fixed axis with variable angular acceleration, with variable angular velocity, variable angular velocity omega is equal to a minus b into t, where a and b are constant, the angle through which it rotates before it comes to rest. So omega is given as a minus of bt. What is asking is angle through which it will rotate before it comes to rest. That means theta is equals to how much? Okay. Now tell me, at t is equals to 0, omega will be equal to omega naught, isn't it? So if I'm taking t is equals to 0, omega is equals to your omega naught, initial angular velocity. So therefore I can write omega naught will be equal to your a minus b into 0. That means omega naught will be equal to your a. Then alpha value will be equal to how much? Alpha is equals to your d omega divided by your dt. That is equals to d omega value is how much? A minus of b into t divided by your dt. So that is your d into your a divided by your dt minus d into your b into t divided by dt. A is a constant, so it is 0 minus b into dt by your dt. That will get cancelled, so that will be equal to minus b. So alpha is equals to minus b and omega naught is equals to your a. Okay, then I need the value of your theta. What is telling? The angle through which it rotates before it comes to rest. That means final angular velocity is how much for me? 0. So if I'm using the relation omega square is equals to omega naught square plus 2 alpha into theta. So omega value is 0. This is omega naught square plus 2 alpha into theta. That means omega naught square is equals to minus of 2 alpha into theta. So theta will be equal to minus of omega naught square divided by 2 into alpha. So I can write here theta is equals to minus of omega naught value. How much we got better? Omega naught value is a. So that will be equal to your a square divided by 2 into alpha. Alpha value is how much you see? Alpha value is minus b. So alpha value is minus of your b. This minus is gone. So it is a square divided by 2b. This will be the answer. A square divided by your 2b. B will be the answer. Good question, beta. Can you try it once again? Option B. Chalo. Next question, better. Good question again. A round disk of moment of inertia I2 about its axis perpendicular to its plane and passing through its center is being placed over another disk of moment of inertia I1, which is rotating with an angular velocity omega about the same axis. The final angular velocity of the combination is how much? This is one. This is your axis. And on this one, we are keeping one more like this. Isn't it? An axis is remaining for me the same. So angular momentum of the disk is how much for me, beta? A round disk of moment of inertia of your I2 about an axis perpendicular to its plane and passing through its center is being placed over another disk of moment of inertia I1. So this one is I1. This one is your I2. Rotating with the same angular velocity omega. Final angular velocity of the combination will be equal to how much? As there is no external force acting on the system beta, angular momentum is said to be conserved. Okay. So initial angular momentum L1 will be equal to your I1 into your omega. When second disk is been kept, L2 will be equal to your I1 plus I2 into your omega. Got it? So as torque is equals to 0, so angular momentum is said to be conserved. So L bar is conserved. That means angular momentum is conserved. Initial angular momentum will be equal to final angular momentum. That one is I1 into your omega will be equal to I1 plus I2 into your omega dash. So omega dash will be equal to your I1 into omega divided by I1 plus of your I2. Okay, so C will be the answer. Yeah. Only one student is giving the answer. Dheeraj, Karunya. Chalo, next question. An athlete throws a disc. This is a disc, beta. Athlete throws a disc from the rest to a final angular velocity of 15 radian per second in 0.27 seconds before releasing it. During the acceleration, the disc moves a circular arc of radius 0.810 meter. Acceleration of your disc before it is released is an athlete throws a disc from the rest. That means initial angular velocity is 0 to final angular velocity of 15 radian per second. In how much time? 0.270 seconds. So during the acceleration, disk moves in circular arc of radius. R is given as 0.810 meter. Acceleration of the disk will be equal to how much? That means A value is equals to how much? So you can use the kinematic equation. Omega is equals to your omega value is equals to your omega naught plus alpha into T. Isn't it? So omega is equals to 0 plus alpha into T. So alpha is equals to omega divided by T. Omega value is how much for me? 15 divided by time is 0.270 radian per second square. Okay. Then A is equals to how much for me? R into alpha, relation between linear velocity, linear acceleration and angular acceleration. So that is equals to 0.81 into this is 15 divided by 0.270. See how much I'm getting approximately this one. Option A, Munas Fatima. Option B. Check the calculation beta. 0.81 into 15 divided by 0.270. Approximately 45 is better. 45.
45, sir.
45 meter per second square. Next. Now this question everyone should give me the answer better. Two bodies of masses 2 kg and 4 kg are moving with velocities 2 meters and 10 meters respectively along the same direction. Then velocity of their center of mass will be equal to how much? Can anyone tell me the answer for this one fast? VCM is equals to your M1 V1 plus of your M2 V2 divided by your M1 plus of your M2 beta. Two bodies of masses. What are the masses? M1 is equals to 2 kg. M2 is equals to your 4 kg moving with velocity. V1 is equals to 2 meter per second and V2 is equals to your 10 meter per second along the same direction. See how much I'll be getting? M1 is 2, V1 is your 2 plus M2 is 4 into V2 is your 10 divided by M1 plus M2, 2 plus 4. So 2 2s are 4 plus 4 into 10 is 40 divided by 6. 44 divided by 6.
5.3, sir, approximately.
44 divided by 6.
7.3, sir.
7.3 meter per second because 7 sevens are 40, 7 6 are 7 6 sevens are 42. So 7.3 meter per second. Okay. Next question. The circular motion questions. I hope you can do it then. Which of the following is correct, beta? V bar is equals to omega bar cross R bar. A bar is
Sir,
equals to
incorrect, sir. First one is correct. Sir, they're asking incorrect one, sir.
yeah. Which of the following is incorrect? V is equals to R omega. That one is correct. Next one. A is equals to R alpha. This is written V into R. This is wrong. A is equals to
Wrong,
d
sir.
omega by dt. This is correct. So second option will be the answer. Incorrect means B is your incorrect because A must be equal to how much for me? R into alpha. Sure. Next one. This is very big limit. Next one. This question, can anyone? Angular velocity of each particle of rotating rigid body about the axis of rotation is angular velocity of each particle. Just now we did the linear velocity. Now he is asking angular velocity. Same concept we did here right now. Just now I told you here. Where is that? This one. See, in rotatory motion, linear velocity will be different, but angular velocity will be the same. Isn't it? So angular velocity of each particle of a rotating body about an axis of rotation is same. A
Same.
will be the answer. Very good. Next one. A wheel rotates with a constant acceleration of 4 radians per second square. If the wheel starts from the rest, the number of revolution it makes in the first 10 seconds will be equal to how much? Can anyone do this model better? Just now we did the same model. The wheel rotates within constant angular acceleration. Alpha is equals to 4 radians per second square. The wheel starts from rest. That means omega naught is 0. Number of revolutions made in the first 10 seconds. T is equals to 10 seconds will be equal to how much? That means theta is equals to 2 pi into your n is our formula. So n will be equal to your theta by 2 pi. So I need to calculate the value of theta. Theta is equals to omega naught into t plus half into alpha into t square. Initial velocity is 0. So theta is equals to half into alpha value is 4 into time is 10 into 10. So it is 2 ones are 2 twos are. So 10 into 10 is 100. 100 into 2 is nothing but 200. So theta is 200. So it is 200 divided by 2 into 3.14. 2 ones are 2 hundreds are. So it is 100 divided by 3.14. So approximately see how much it is. Same angular velocity.
31, sir. 31.8.
31.8. 31.8. 31.8 means approximately third
32.
option.
No, sir, fourth option.
31.
31. 31.
It's exactly 31 or 31.8.
31.8.
31.8.
Check the calculation once. 100 divided by 3.14.
31.8.
31.8.
Yes, sir.
That means we'll be getting 32. Done, beta? Clear. 31.8. So nearby answer I can write as 32. Sure. Next one. A cord is wound over a rim of a flywheel. So this is your flywheel. And a cord is wound over a rim of a flywheel of mass. Okay. Mass is given as of your 20 kg and radius is given as 25 centimeter. Mass of 2.5 kg is attached to the cord can fall under gravity. So somewhere here we are attaching a mass for this one, small m. Radius of this one is capital R. So this one will be capital M at that time. And small m will be equal to 2.5 kg. So it is falling under gravity. Okay. The angular acceleration of the flywheel. So it is fixed here somewhere here right now. Like this. At the center it has been fixed. Option C, 10 radians. Yeah. So tell me what is the moment of inertia of this flywheel, beta? I is equals to moment of inertia of this one will be like a disk mr square divided by 2. Mass will be equal to 20 into radius is given how much for me the problem 25 centimeter. That means 25 into 10 to the power of minus 2 whole square divided by 2. 2 into this one is nothing but 10. So that will become for me 25 into 25 into 10 to the power of minus 4 into 10. That means this will become for me minus 3 kg meter square. So here is some force acting right now here. This is also some force and the weight of the body is mg. This force into perpendicular distance. This force into perpendicular distance will be equal to torque. Isn't it? So this is the perpendicular distance. So torque will be equal to your how much? Torque acting on the wheel is tau is equals to force into R. That force will be equal to tension T into R. The tension T is equals to how much beta? Mg into your R. That will be equal to your tau. Isn't it? So tau will be equal to mass is how much? 2.5. G value is 10 into radius is 25 into 10 to the power of minus 2. That means this will become for me 25, this point and this 10 will get cancelled. 25 into 25 into 10 to the power of minus 2. Is asking the angular acceleration. So tau is equals to I into alpha. So alpha is equals to tau divided by your I. So tau value is 25 into 25 into 10 power minus 2 divided by moment of inertia. So what is the moment of inertia? I got 25 into 25 into 10 power minus 3. 25 into 25 into 10 power minus 3. 25, 25, this one will get cancelled. This is 10 power minus 2 into 10 power plus 3. That means that will be equal to your 10. Very good. 10 is the answer. But units are radians per your second square. Check it once again, beta. A cord is wound over the rim of a flywheel of mass 20 kg. And the radius is 25 centimeter. A mass 2.5 kg is attached to the cord can fall under gravity. The angular acceleration of the flywheel is how much? So the mass of this one is given for me in the problem. capital M. Small r means capital R. This is capital R is also given for me 25 centimeter. Mass of this block is given 2.5. So this is your mg. So tension is balancing your mg. So I calculated the moment of inertia. Then I calculated the torque acting on that body, and I know the formula tau is equals to I into your alpha. So from that one, alpha is equals to tau by I. Next question, beta. Good question. Can anyone try this one, beta? Initial angular velocity of the circular disk of mass capital M is omega 1. Then two small spheres of mass small m are attached gently to the two diametrically opposite points of the edge of the disk. What is the final angular velocity of the disk? I'll draw the situation. Initial angular velocity of circular disk. This is the initial angular velocity of circular disk. Mass of this one is capital M. Angular velocity is omega 1. Then two small spheres of masses m are attached gently to the two diametrically opposite points. That means now in this situation, this is your axis. This will become for me omega dash. When you are attaching two masses, right now here one mass and here one mass. Each of mass of your how much? M. Okay, opposite ends of the edge of the disk. What is the final angular velocity? That means omega dash will be equal to how much? As no external torque is acting on the system, so angular momentum is said to be conserved. So initial angular momentum must be equal to final angular momentum. So I1 omega 1 will be equal to your, this one is your I2 into your omega 2. I1 means moment of inertia for the disk will be equal to your mr square divided by 2. I2 means moment of inertia about the center of mass ICM plus two particles are being kept 2m into your r square because they are kept a distance of your r each. So ICM will be equal to your mr square divided by 2 plus of your 2 times of small m into your r square. So I1 will be equal to your m into your r square divided by 2 into your omega 1 is equals to, this one is 1 by 2 into your mr square plus 2 into small m into your r square into your omega dash. So this will become for me half into capital M into r square into omega 1 is equals to your half common right now in this one, capital R square. This is capital M plus of your 4 times of your small m into your omega dash. Isn't it? Because a half I took common there. So this half will get cancelled. This r square will also get cancelled. So m into your omega 1 is equals to capital M plus 4 times of small m into omega dash. That means omega dash will be equal to capital M into omega 1 divided by capital M plus of your 4 times of your small m. This must be the answer for this. Okay. Capital M plus small m. No, beta, C I'm getting. Capital M divided by capital M plus 4m into your omega 1. Done? Good question, sir. Beta. Next one. A rope of negligible mass is wound around a hollow cylinder of mass 3 kg and radius 40 centimeter. What is the angular acceleration of the cylinder if the rope is pulled with a force of 30 Newton? Assume that there is no slipping. A rope of negligible mass is wound around a hollow cylinder. Okay. Something like this. This is your hollow cylinder. The rope of negligible mass M. Mass of your how much? Mass of your hollow cylinder is your 3 kg. And radius of this one is 40 centimeters. So that will be 40 into 10 to the power of minus 2 meters. What is the angular acceleration of the cylinder if the rope is being pulled with a force? Force is given as of your 30 Newton. Assume there is no slipping. Okay, this is your radius. And rope of negligible mass is being wounded on it. Wounded means like this. This is one part of your wrist one. This one is wounded like this. N number of times it is wounded and it is being pulled with a force of your F is equals to 30 Newtons. This is the radius R. Mass is given for me as of your 3 kg. Okay. That means moment of inertia of this disk will be equal to how much better? I is equals to m into your r square. So mass is 3 into that is 0.4 whole square meters. Isn't it? So this is 40 into 10 power minus 2, no beta. So it will be 4.4 meters. So this will come out for me. 3 4s are 12. Whole square 16. Na? So that means this will become for me 0.48 kg meter square. Force is given for me 30 Newton. So what is asking right now for me? What is the angular acceleration? That means alpha is equals to how much? That means I will be using the formula tau is equals to I into alpha. So alpha will be equal to tau by your I. I got it. I need to calculate the value of torque. Now how do you calculate the torque beta? Torque will be equal to tau is equals to your F into your R. F is given as 30, R is equals to 0.4. That means that will be equal to 3 4s are 12 Newton meter. So therefore I can write alpha is equals to tau divided by I. Tau is 12, this one is 0.48. See how much I'm getting this one. Option D. 12 divided by 0.48. Twenty-five. Yeah, 25 radian per second. Next one. When the disk rotates with a uniform angular velocity, which of the following is not true is asking. Which of the following is not true? The sense of rotation remains the same. The orientation of the axis of rotation remains same. The speed of rotation is non-zero and remains the same. The angular acceleration is non-zero and remains the same. When the disk rotates with uniform angular velocity. See, since the disk is rotating with uniform angular velocity, so its angular acceleration must be equal to how much beta? 0, because alpha is equals to d omega divided by dt na beta. If omega is constant, differentiation of any constant must be equal to how much for me? 0. So angular acceleration is non-zero is telling here. So this is wrong. So this option must be correct, right? Which is not true is telling. What did beta? When the disk rotates with uniform angular velocity, that means if omega is your constant, then angular acceleration must be 0. But in the problem is telling that angular acceleration is non-zero, but we are getting alpha to be equal to your 0. So which is not true is telling. So fourth option is not true. Got it? Sure, next one. A flywheel of moment of inertia. A flywheel of moment of inertia 3 into 10 to the power of moment of inertia, that means I value is 3 into 10 to the power of 2 kg meter square, is rotating with uniform angular speed. That means omega is 4.6 radians per second. If a torque of tau is equals to 6.9 into 10 to the power of 2 Newton meter retards the wheel, then the time in which the wheel comes to the rest is asking. Isn't it? So what is the time in which the wheel is coming to the rest? And that means final velocity will become for me 0. This is initial. So I can use the relation initial angular velocity formula if I'm using. Omega is equals to omega naught plus alpha into t. So final velocity is 0. That is equals to omega naught plus alpha into t. So alpha value will be equal to your minus of omega naught divided by your t. That means t value we need now. So t is equals to minus of omega naught divided by alpha. That is omega naught is given how much? 4.6. So this one is minus of 4.6 divided by alpha. What we need? Time only, no? Alpha. That means this is your t. Okay, to get the value of t, now I can use the relation of your tau is equals to I into your alpha. So torque acting on that body is given for me 6.9. Yeah, 6.9 into 10 to the power of 2. That is equals to your I. Moment of inertia is given for me as 3 into 10 to the power of 2. 3 into 10 to the power of 2 into alpha. Alpha value I can use this one. So it will be equal to your minus of your omega naught divided by your t. Okay. So simplify this one. 6.9 into 10 power 2 is equals to 3 into 10 power 2 into omega naught value is 4.6. Rotating with an angular speed of 4.6 radians per second. Okay, 4.6 divided by t. This one will get cancelled. 6.9 is equals to your 7. That means time t will be equal to your 3 into 10 to the power of 2. That will get cancelled. So it is a 3 into your 4.6 divided by 6.9. So this will be equal to how much approximately? Option B. Let me check. Yeah, option B, 2 seconds is the answer. Minus n indicates only direction better, nothing to do with the calculation because time cannot be negative, no? Sure. This one is also a good question, better. A thin circular ring of mass m and radius small r is rotating about its axis with a constant angular momentum. Constant angular momentum. Why omega? Angular momentum is L, na? 4 objects, each of mass m, are kept gently to the opposite ends of the two perpendicular diameters of the ring. The angular velocity of the ring will be equal to how much? A thin circular ring of mass m. Okay, this is a thin circular ring of mass m and radius r. Mass m and radius r is rotating about its axis with constant angular momentum. Okay, constant angular momentum. 4 objects, each of mass m, are kept gently on the opposite corners of two perpendicular diameters of the ring. Okay, that means in the next situation, this is your ring. This is your angular velocity, like say initial is omega, final will be equal to your omega dash. Okay. Now 4 particles, 1, 2, here 3, and here 4, diametrically opposite like this. Okay, so initial angular momentum will be equal to how much beta? I into your omega. Moment of inertia for the ring is m into r square into your omega. Final angular momentum will be equal to your, this will become for me your I cm plus of your m into your r square into your omega dash. So moment of inertia for this one is m into r square, because for the ring, moment of inertia passing through the center and perpendicular that one. How many masses? M plus m plus m plus m. That means that is your 4m into your r square into your omega dash, isn't it? So as next external torque acting on the system is 0, as tau net is equals to 0, initial angular momentum will be equal to final angular momentum. That is m into r square into omega is equals to m into r square plus of your 4m into your r square into omega dash. Anything is getting cancelled with a capital M into r square into omega. This one is r square common. This one is capital M plus of your 4 times of small m into omega dash. R square will get cancelled. Omega dash is capital M into your omega divided by capital M plus of your 4m. So this will be the final angular velocity. Done. Check it out once more. Sure. Next question. A thin and circular disk of mass capital M and radius capital R is rotating in a horizontal plane about an axis passing through its center and perpendicular to its plane with an angular velocity omega. If another disk of same dimensions but of mass m by 4 is placed gently on the first disk coaxially, that means one or the other, then the new angular velocity of the system will be equal to your how much? Good question, better. Can anyone try this one again? Same. So thin circular disk. This is a thin circular disk. This is your axis. This is your radius capital R, mass is capital M. Horizontal plane about an axis passing through its center and perpendicular to its plane. That means passing through the center and perpendicular to the plane. With an angular velocity of your omega. With an angular velocity of your omega. If another disk of same dimensions but of mass m by 4, okay. Now on this one, we are keeping your another disk like this. Mass of this one is capital M by 4. Then angular velocity will change to omega dash, isn't it? So new angular velocity is how much? So as external torque acting on the system is 0. As tau net is equals to 0, initial angular momentum must be equal to final angular momentum. So I1 omega 1 must be equal to I2 omega 2. Circular disk now, so moment of inertia will be equal to mr square divided by 2 into your omega. Must be equal to moment of inertia for this one center is mr square divided by 2 plus half into mass of this one is m by 4 into your r square into your omega. Why? Because see, I2 is moment of inertia about the center of mass plus mass into your r square. ICM is nothing but mr square by 2 plus mass is given how much for me? M by 4. Isn't it? So this will be equal to your m by 2. That means half into, this is your m by 2 into your r square. Okay, so what I can get the answer for this one, beta? This one is also capital M only, beta. So if I simplify this one, mr square everywhere will get cancelled. This mr square, this mr square, this mr square will get cancelled. So omega by 2 is equals to 1 by 2 plus of your 1 by 8, 4 2 is 8 into your omega 2. Okay, see how much I'm getting omega 2. Omega 2 is equals to how much? How much better? Conserve the momentum, that's it.
Third option, sir.
4 omega by 5. Good, good. So it is your 4 omega divided by 5. Here, beta. So tomorrow again I'll come back with your some of the questions related to the rolling motion beta and your rotational dynamics part. Take care beta. Bye.